What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the latest edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and apologize for being a little bit late, guys. About 2 minutes or so late. Definitely apologize for that. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing cracking. Give me just a moment. You guys know how we do each and every week. I sent out the link to a few special people, so bear with me really quick while we do that. Then once we're done with that, we're going to come right here and see what you guys are doing. I'll give my little spiel. I'll give my opening welcome to you guys, early shout outs. Then we'll see what you guys have to say in regards to the quick subjects. And then I'll be out of here. And I'm telling you, this one is going to be a quick show, guys. We're going to get back to that smaller time frame, if we will. So hold on. Give me just a second, man. How's everybody doing so far tonight? Hope everyone is well. And give me just a moment. Let me send this out to Leonard. My father-in-law Leonard there, my good brother Tony, and my cousin Floyd. For you guys who are regular viewers, you would know who these folks are. We do this each and every week. I send them the link quickly and swiftly. All right, so there we are. Let's make sure everything is working. Levels are good, right? Everybody can hear me good, right? All right, looks like everything is working, so I'm going to look over here and give you guys an early what's up. So some of you early viewers here, and then we'll get it cracking. What's happening? All right, man, so who we got off in here early, man? Michael Garman, Connor Rogers, Jordan Mid, Lance and Shield, Champagne Poppy, Moa AGWS, Joseph Delavicia. I don't know if I got that correctly, but if I didn't, I do apologize. And Ali Howard in the building early and often. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling. So where should we begin, man? Let's talk a little bit of, very, very brief Steeler news here in terms of transactions. I see that we did re-sign Tyson Alualu, and I'm okay with that, and we kind of signed him for basically the same deal we gave him the first time, 2 years, just under $6 million. I think it's like a $1.2 million bonus. Yeah, I'm good with that, man, because we definitely need some depth on the defensive line. I see a few more you guys are filling in right now. What's up, my good brother Tony? What's up, Kenyon? But yeah, man, I'm not upset about that. I'm not opposed to the Tyson Alualu deal. Again, we need depth, because at the end of the day, all we got is Jay Wobble, Stephon Tuitt, and Cam Hayward. You would think guys like LT Walton and Dan McCullers is probably seeing their last days and played their last downs as Pittsburgh Steelers. So, we definitely need to get that depth. And I think we need to address that, if not in free agency. I don't really know who's out there in terms of, interior or maybe a two-way type of player on the defensive line as far as free agents. I haven't looked at that. But if not that, we're definitely going to have to address it at some point in the draft, just to get another piece, another rotational piece, behind those guys. Because, again, we're kind of thin. We're kind of thin in a lot of places on that defense if you really take a good look at it. We don't have a lot of quality depth in pretty much any position right now that you can really count on. So, again, I'm cool with the Tyson Alualu signing. Very cheap. And, you pretty much knew that was going to happen. He's done his job since he's been with us. He's filled that backup role the way he's supposed to be. And there you have it. That's all you could ask for. Also, so we already know down in Le'Veon Bell, that saga, we can go ahead and put it to bed now. The Steelers don't plan to tag him, whether it's a franchise tag or, being able to put a tender tag on him or whatever. Transitional tag is what they call it, where the Steelers can match the offer. It looks like they don't have an interest in doing that. It looks like they're not going to do that, so we can go ahead and put that to bed. So pretty much, guys, it's really looking like we will be going into the 2019 season offensively with no Le'Veon Bell and no Antonio Brown, because, seems like Antonio Brown will be traded. We've heard from Kevin Colbert, a little bit here. He's basically saying there's 3 teams, already showing interest. And I don't know if that's just him bluffing a little bit. Maybe it's more teams. Maybe he doesn't want to tip his hand. But it's good to hear, if we are to believe those things, it's good to hear that we're getting some inquiries. Because, again, I think Antonio Brown, the more and more he's talked, maybe he can keep his head clean right now, let things settle down a little bit, stay quiet, and maybe people can forget the recent, uproar he's caused, and maybe we can get some more value out of him. I still believe right now we're probably looking at a second round at the most, but hoping that somebody will jump out the window and give us a first round. So it's really all I got to say there in terms of roster and transactions. Not a whole lot more to talk about. We're going to have a lot to talk about here coming in the next week's show, and I know my brother Kenyon is listening. I'd like to invite Kenyon back on the show come next week, after some combine numbers have come out. Kenyon has been sending me, a couple tweets, a couple texts here and there to check out a few guys. I'm going to check out that running back you told me about earlier today. And Tony, Kenyon said we should all, every now and then, jump into a little group text and, we can have at it. Most of the three of us pretty much, are like-minded guys. So I think we'll enjoy that. I know he brought that up in the football season last year where, maybe we could, text back and forth during the game, but definitely having some more conversation offline. I look forward to that because, like I said, it might get to a point where you guys, will be coming on the show more often. It will be more like a discussion. So I look forward to doing that. And any of you other guys out there, I will be honest, I can't promise that I can go back and forth with everybody texting, but I would love to get it to a point, man, where this is a pure discussion show. Like I said, I'm looking into, figuring out better ways to get you guys on the show in terms of being able to call in. I'm looking into that software right now. So hopefully in the near future, we'll have a situation where I have a number posted, guys, just call, I see you in the queue, etc., boom. And instead of dealing with the whole Skype and all that, I know not everybody has Skype. Shout outs to my guy Luke, if he's in here. He told me, hey man, I'm old school. He doesn't deal with Skype. So I want to make it as easy as possible and the most efficient way to allow people to come on and or call in. All right, so let's get back to the point of what I was talking about. What other news, guys? Hold on. Round of applause to Robert Kraft, man. Oh, man. Oh. I had to give a quick round of applause to Mr. Kraft. Listen, man. Let me tell y'all something. Let me use my words, let me find the right words to use so I don't offend anybody, especially, the ladies who may watch. And Debbie, let me right now bow down and say I apologize. I don't want to offend anybody. But I'm going to keep it real for a quick second, and then we'll poke a little fun at him. This man is 77 years old, okay? He's a billionaire. His wife passed away some time ago. I don't know how long ago, but he supposedly he has a young girlfriend. I don't know. I don't know all of his business. I just know that the dude is a multi-billionaire, 77 years old. Is it that shocking that a guy like that might partake in some type of massage parlor where there's happy endings? I'm just saying. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying. Were too many people shocked by that news? Now, okay, it's shocking because you're like, whoa, it's Robert Kraft, whatever. But if this was just a random guy in his situation, we didn't know him, if he was just a billionaire, this ain't nothing new, folks. This ain't nothing new. Let me tell you something. I've been around the block, okay? I've been around all kinds of people, movers and shakers. I've been around people with a lot of money. This is not an unusual thing. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not saying that, I've done anything to that nature. Of course, I'm not going to put all of my personal business in the street. I'm just saying this is not unusual given his situation, the riches that he has, his age, and the fact that he no longer has a wife. Now, here's the part where I got to pick and poke a little fun at him real quick. Then we'll get back to Steelers news. Hold on. Let's give a round of applause to my brother Antoine there for the donation. Then I'll come back and pick some fun. Oh, man. Appreciate that, Antoine, man. My guy, Antoine, I hope you're safe out there, man. My man, Antoine, is a trucker, man. So, let's all make sure we keep him up in prayer, man. Because those guys, that's a lot of hard work out on that road, man. And, good to always hear from you, my brother. All right, let's get into it. Supposedly this was at like 11 a.m. early in the morning. Not early, but early in the day. Now, not only am I gonna make fun of that, but did you guys hear the price range? Bruh, they said it was between like $59 and $79. What type of spa is you going to, bruh? Let me put it in perspective. Big money people that do stuff like that, they go into places where they paying big dollars. You understand what I'm saying? Big dollars. In the hundreds. I'm just saying. It sounds funny to me, and the crazy thing about it is now he's getting lumped in this situation where it's some type of a sting operation, and apparently it's some, a sex trafficking ring that the people down in Florida, Jupiter, Florida, have been keeping their eyes on. I guess they said it's from that area up to Orlando. That's something totally different. And unfortunately, I think Robert Kraft just happened to be a customer today that he got recorded on video. And obviously, when you're that type of guy, if anybody gets any footage like that, they're going to bring that out. And they're going to tell the media. But I'm just saying, let me wrap this up, man. I had to pick a little fun at the dude, man. It is just hilarious. Those darn Patriots. It's always something with those Patriots, ain't it? I mean, yeah, they always winning, but there's always something with them that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Whether it's the Deflategate or Spygate, And I heard a funny joke today, and again, I don't want to offend anybody, but I heard a joke listening to the Terrible podcast today where one of their callers, or one of the people who emailed them, said that apparently Robert Kraft wanted to show Tom Brady truly how you deflate balls. I had to say it. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But anyway, let's get back to the Steelers stuff, man. All right, man. Kevin Colbert. Kevin Colbert. How much is he responsible for the struggle of the Steelers, man? Let me get my time check. 12 minutes and 40 seconds. All right, we doing good. Okay, I'm going to read y'all an article before I dive into the obvious. Okay, I saw something about Kevin Colbert earlier today. Where's my article? I see y'all laughing at the deflated balls comment. Hilarious, right? Basically, they were saying, Kevin Colbert basically said in an article, man, and I believe I saw it on Steelers Depot, that, and he said, during his recent press conference, that he doesn't feel like we did enough to replace Ryan Shazier. Okay? It's good to hear that. Okay? And the reason why it's good to hear that, in my opinion, is because I think most of us would say that. Looking at how the draft went last year, seeing as that we had to, and I don't want to say it like it's a bad thing because I don't want to, bag on Terrell Edmonds, but seeing as we had to go that direction, clearly we were going to go inside linebacker. Clearly, if Rashaan Evans was there, or Leighton Vander Esch, who was more than likely the guy we were looking at, we were going to take those guys. And as you can see, Vander Esch turned out to be, looks pretty good so far in his early rookie season. And Rashaan Evans did a couple things that I saw. I didn't get to see a lot of Tennessee games, but, he was serviceable. And also, of course, your Roquan Smiths of the world. We were never going to get him. But anyway, Colbert basically said we didn't do enough to replace Ryan Shazier. So with him saying that, let me talk about the positive first. I expect to see some changes this year. I expect to see us aggressively go after top dog talent in the inside linebacker area via draft, first round, preferably if the guy is there, at least second round, or perhaps get somebody who's pretty solid in off season. I would like to see that. Go after somebody that might be a sure shot or a good piece of the puzzle. May not be the guy that solves everything, but a good solid piece of the puzzle in free agency. And then if you can find your guy in the draft, go get him. See what my brother Tony talking about. Yeah, Tony, that's crazy, right? Oh man. But yeah, I need you to see. I need to see you do that, Colbert. Okay? Because we like to blame a lot of other people. Everybody bears some blame. The players in particular. The head coach, yeah. Tomlin bears some blame as well, even though I just don't give the coach, the player, all of the credit. I include everybody from the top on down. The Rooneys, you know, AR2, you know, and Kevin Colbert. These are the guys who pretty much cut the check. You know, AR2 cuts the check, but Kevin Colbert monitors the check. So I got to look at those guys first. Then, of course, I look at Tomlin being the head man. Then I look at the defensive staff as a collective. But if we look at these drafts, man, we have missed on a lot of pieces that we really needed. We've tried. We tried to get corner when we went Artie Burns. Hasn't panned out. We've been trying to get an edge rusher for the longest time. TJ Watt looked like he's going to pan out. Okay, Jarvis Jones was a miss. Didn't ever pan out. Bud Dupree, now we're in a situation right now where we got to decide if we're going to pay this dude $9 million for 1 season on the 5th-year option. And it's funny that we're even questioning that. See? And the safety play, Sean Davis last year, that's the first season that we can say, okay, he did better. But in your 3rd season, he was supposed to be that guy. And then we have to take Terrell Edmonds, which again, let's give him some time. I think he got better as the season went on. But what I don't like about Kevin Colbert, let's get to the negative, man, because I'm going off track a little bit. That comment he made with Ben Roethlisberger. Now, listen, I understand what he was doing there. I know some people had to, you know, got all out of whack and, you know, they were ready to burn the building down. Listen, it wasn't as literal as the media made it seem. He wasn't literally saying that everyone else are kids in comparison to Ben Roethlisberger. He always uses that terminology, kids, when he talks about players. He does it all the time. In his draft, post, and pre-draft, you know, press conferences, he always says it. I say it all the time. You've heard Kenyon say, I mean, that's just what you say. It's just a reference. You know, I'm older than these guys coming into the NFL, so I refer to them as kids. These dudes are coming out of college. But he definitely made it clear as if Ben Roethlisberger can't do no wrong. As if he was massaging Ben's ego. I ain't like that. You understand why I didn't like that? Because this sums it up. You heard what Hines Ward had to say. When ex-players come out and they speak against that, that's letting you know really what goes down in the locker room. This is the 2nd time Hines Ward has spoken. Okay? You heard what Emmanuel Sanders said when he left Pittsburgh. No disrespect, but Peyton Manning is a better leader. And that's the part that I have a problem with. Ben Roethlisberger is not the best leader in the world. But we keep putting him up on this pedestal. You know, Colbert and even, you know, anyone else in the organization. Yeah, Ben is the guy because he's, you know, the longest tenure. And he has Super Bowl rings. Obviously, he knows what it takes. You do want to refer to him. But don't sit there and act like Ben is the best leader in the world. He's not. Now, I don't know Roethlisberger personally. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what goes on from week to week. But how many times have we heard little riffs like that? Even better, how many times have we seen the passive aggressiveness? And I know sometimes, you know, we can laugh and say, oh, that was cute. He said this, he said that. But no. I knew it was an issue when he said AB has to run a flatter route. He had never talked about AB like that. Tell me I'm wrong. I had never heard him criticize AB. I wish we could have threw it to Juju 4 times in a row. Come on, fam. You don't say that. You don't say that. You handle that stuff in the crib. You don't take that outside for everybody to see. So it rubbed me the wrong way to hear Colbert, you know, just overshower Ben with praise. And I get it. That's your guy. I get it. But no. It has to be a new day. What did Tomlin say at the season-ending post-conference? Yo, we can't do things the same way and think there's going to be a different result. And I hope he meant across the board. I hope he meant GM-wise as far as acquiring talent. I hope he even meant the way he manages these guys. Because clearly, the style he was doing worked fine until you got 2 players that kind of blew it up in AB and Le'Veon Bell. So now he's going to have to change the way he manages things a little bit. But that's why I just wanted to pose you guys the question, man. How much blame does Kevin Colbert get for the woes and the struggles of the Pittsburgh Steelers, being that he is the GM? His job is to acquire talent that can help the Steelers. Of course, he gets input from the head coach and whoever else. But ultimately, it comes down to how he manages the money and how he acquires guys, how the free agency is handled, even though I know Art Rooney has a lot to say, but still, how we approach things. We have to be more aggressive, Colbert. We got to stop shopping in the dumpster. No disrespect to guys. Listen, I'm not saying these dudes are trash. I'm just saying we don't go after the marquee guys, or at least the marquee guy in a position that can help us. That philosophy has to change, and we're going to definitely evaluate better talent in the draft. You know, you can't help when the guy you want gets picked. I get that. But look at guys like, what's the dude, Darius Leonard, I think his name is. Look at how he panned out. He was there, available for us to pick. Jesse Bates was there, available for us to pick in the first round. No disrespect to Terrell Edmonds. I actually think Terrell Edmonds might pan out to be pretty solid. But Jesse Bates was the ball hawk. Jesse Bates was a playmaker. He was right there. We passed on him because we were trying to compensate for that loss of Ryan Shazier in the inside linebacker position. So I'm going to pose a question to you guys, man. I think we're doing good on time. Where we at? 21 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to spend a good 7-8 minutes with you guys, and we'll be out of here. And like I said, next week, man, we'll have a pretty more impactful show as far as, more content. I'll get Kenyon on here, and I'll fall back and let him do more of the talking and, what he thinks about what some of these guys did at the combine. And then, free agency is right around the corner. So we should have some things to talk about here coming up soon. So, all right, let's go to the chat, man. And how did you guys, I'd love to hear what some of you guys have to say about Robert Kraft. I'm probably going to have to go back and look at the replay and look at your comments there, but that was hilarious to me. So let's get it cracking, man. Kenyon says, but here's the main problem. Ben, AB, and Bell, those three in particular, have had too much leeway, and that's why we are here now. Facts. You're right. You're right, Kenyon, and again, and this is coming from Kenyon and myself, guys who support Mike Tomlin. Listen, he's not absolved from any criticism. He tried his way. It's worked for the most part. These guys have blown it up. So now we got to run a little tighter ship. It is what it is, Coach T. And if I knew him personally, like an associate, like a friend or something, I would say that. Like, yo, maybe you got to, button it up a little bit now. The way you was running, it was great, but now, these dudes have blown it up in your face, so you got to take some of that leeway. You might have to put the choke collar on now instead of just letting them roam with a regular collar. You know what I'm saying? So, just my thoughts. Appreciate that, Kenyon. Champagne Poppy says, we'll be fine. Just have to keep the ball out of Ben's hands, run it more, and keep Ben's attempts to around 27 to 32. I agree with you there. I don't want to see many more 55, pass attempt games, especially when Antonio Brown is not there. No. Don't want to see that. Roland Young says, as much as Ben deserves blame, we did all this stuff really started coming out when Bell and Brown reached ultimate superstardom. Ben has never been a leader, but it's not all on him. Not defending him, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm going to agree with you, Roland. You're right. It ain't all him because, again, even like the leeway that Kenyon talks about, everything was fine for the most part until Bell and AB started losing their mind. You know what I mean? This has never been an issue. Hines Ward played there with Tomlin. A lot of other guys played there with Tomlin. A lot of personalities with Tomlin. We didn't hear a lot of this stuff. Even with James Harrison, we're hearing it after he leaves. But what I'm saying is everybody has their philosophy, but you're right. Ben is not the only culprit in in this situation. So you're absolutely right there. Debbie says, can't wait, Kenyon. Not up on the draft this year as I should. Yeah. You're probably talking about Kenyon being able to, give us some insight on who we should take a look at. I can't wait for that as well, man. I know he'll have a lot to say next week, after some of these combine numbers come out. Some guys are going to rise, some guys are going to fall. And shout out to the homie Smooth. Round of applause for the donation. I really appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. And again, y'all know I'm the type of guy that don't like to force anything on anybody, but I realize I have to tell people, if you want to donate, right there in the chat section, man, is the super chat right there, the bottom of the chat, you see the $. That's how you can donate, okay? And it's a secure, I don't get to see any of your information. If I'm not mistaken, it's through PayPal or what have you. Smooth and Antoine, you can even tell people you know, the pay method. I don't even know that. All I know is it comes to me via YouTube. So if you want to donate, I appreciate it. Thank you for that. But that's all. You know, it's not a must-have. If you want to, I definitely appreciate it. All right, so why Diggy says, I put a good portion on Colbert from a football perspective. I think him and the scouting department has failed when evaluating defensive positions, particularly in the secondary. Can't disagree with that. Not at all. Eli, what's up, Eli? Eli says, yo, I finally made it to a stream for the first time in like a month. What up, Sim? Yeah, man, I noticed it, and not in a bad way. It's just I realized I hadn't seen your name in a while, man. So welcome back. I appreciate you being able to catch it. Definitely appreciate that. What did y'all say about Dupree? Okay, what y'all saying about Dupree, Kenyon? Kenyon and Roland? No, well, just Kenyon. Kenyon says Dupree. Are you asking, do I think they're going to keep him? Send another comment if that's what you're referring to. Let's see. Trudginal Jones, look, I was about to say the same thing. He says, I made it to a live again. It's been a minute. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Some of you guys may or may not know, but I got somewhat of a photographic memory. So by me saying that, it's not like I sat around and was like, oh, I wonder, you know, Eli ain't came through, Trudginal ain't came through. It's just visually I remember. So I noticed I hadn't seen you guys' names. So again, that ain't a shot at y'all. It's just that's how I'm able to recall it so fast, because that photographic memory, man. Damian King, he says, I would love to get or to see Greedy Williams on the squad. I absolutely would love that. You know, there's that saying, he won't be there, but you never know, he might be. But yeah, a kid like that, I would go first round with a corner like that, him or the Murphy kid if they're available. Because, you know, it's hit or miss, man. You know, your Mac Wilsons of the world and your Devin Whites of the world might not be there. Devin Bush is a little undersized for my taste at, you know, middle linebacker. So it all depends on if the Steelers can find a real good piece in the inside linebacker position early on in free agency, great. Then maybe go after that corner in the first round. Or perhaps an edge, man. I saw Dave Bryan from Steelers Depot said, you know, he did his first mock, and he had Ja'Kai Polite as the first round pick. He said he just wanted to go in a different direction just to, you know, put us in the mind frame of that type of perspective. Hey, I wouldn't mind a very legit edge rusher being in the first round, you know, if we can get it, if we've already addressed that inside linebacker position, man. We have to address the inside and the corner position, in my opinion, even before you address pass rusher. Because, you know, TJ Watt is going to be okay. We do need help there, but I think the glaring hole is definitely that inside linebacker position. Let's see. More AGWS. Yes. I see the name that you're putting in there, so I'm going to read this comment for sure. He says, everyone needs to start recruiting Landon Collins. Reports say he cleaned out his locker in New York. So if the Giants learned anything from Le'Veon Bell, then they basically, I think what you're saying is they should know that he's probably done. Listen, we can get Landon Collins, man. Some of you guys may have been following me some years ago when Landon Collins was a rookie. And I remember putting on Twitter, if Collins is there, we need to go after him. Because this was right around the time either it was the last year of Polamalu or Polamalu had already gone. And I was begging, pick Landon Collins, and he was right there for us. We didn't take him. It is what it is. So now, 4 years later, bruh, I can't remember if he's on his 4th year or if he had a 5th year option. I can't remember what he's playing on. But either way, after his first contract, those are the type of contracts the Steelers like to go after. That type of age, has played in the league. He's on his 2nd contract now. We got money. If Landon Collins is there, let's get it. That dude gives us a lot of versatility on defense. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Oh yeah, Kenya. Why I didn't pick up on that right away? Y'all know Kenya can't stand Dupree, but he was right. Kenya was absolutely right about Dupree, man. I just always tried to hold out on hope because he has the intangibles. The kid just ain't got nothing else. He's a clear example, Kenyon, and anybody else that knows this Steeler philosophy. He's a spark guy. He's clearly the height, weight, and speed caliber that the Steelers look for, but that's it. He just ain't a pure pass rusher. Ah, man, it's tough. It's tough to stomach with that guy, man. All right, man, about 2 more comments and then we'll be up out of here. Mike Van Leer says, man, I love to hear this Steelers info from real fans. Keep doing your thing, Sim. Listen, man, I love comments like that as well, man, and that's why I started doing this thing, man, you know, because I love the Steelers. You know, I love chopping it up with regular folk, you know what I mean? Like, not, you know what I mean? Not no TV stuff, and even if something happened and you guys blew my channel up and now I'm this, you know, I'm a big-time Steelers YouTuber, I'm still going to be the same dude, man. I just like real conversation from real fans with no agenda. You know what I'm saying? The ESPN battery ain't in my back to make me say this at a certain time. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, no disrespect to Stephen A. of the world, but y'all know sometimes, man, that stuff is injected. You know, like my man Charlemagne the God always says, I never want to become a caricature of myself. And I see that happening with some of these media pundits. I'm just saying. Where they, you know, it's like they turn the switch on because they know that's what you want to see out of them. You ain't never going to get that from me. This is who I am. So I say all that to say this. I love it too, man. And I appreciate you sharing that comment. And I appreciate you guys showing love and support. Let's see. 2 more because I wasted a little time right there. Alan Woodall says, it's time to fix this defense in this draft. This is the defensive draft in years. I think he's saying this is the best defensive draft in years, and the Steelers need to focus on that. I couldn't agree with you more. We need to go heavy defense. Perhaps a receiver at some point, and if the right receiver is there, if we get an extra pick, you know, via the Antonio Brown trade, which everyone is expecting, I don't mind going heavy offense in one position early. Like, let's say we get a very solid first-round pick from a team. Say it's a Green Bay or Redskins, I heard today, possibly, or the Panthers. One of those teams where it's within the top 15 or so. Get your defensive guy there, and I wouldn't be mad if we came back at 20 and grabbed a kid like Deebo Samuel if he's there, who I drafted in my Madden franchise. I wouldn't be mad at that, but only if we got the extra picks to, you know, to spare. But we definitely got to go defensive heavy. All right, so one last comment I'll read here. Austin Pasquale, he says, Jordan Hicks would be a very solid pickup at inside linebacker. Great in coverage and speedy, injury prone, but still young and was a playmaker for the Eagles. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at something like that. See, even the Michael Kendricks, I wouldn't have been mad if we could have got him, you know, this past season. Guys like that have been there, you know, been there and done that type of guys who have showed some skill. And maybe they're not flashing as much on their current team. That happens sometimes. I don't mind a guy like that. I don't mind a guy like that. That's what they were trying to go after with Bostic, but Bostic never really showed consistent flash. But like you said, a dude like Hicks or Kendricks, you know, when he was available, guys like that we've seen ball out before, they could very well get in the Steelers system, brand new start, and ball again. At least ball enough to keep things, you know, sustainable in the middle. That's all I'm asking for, just in case that dog is not available in the first round. You know, because I'm eyeballing Wilson and White, which most people are, but those are probably the top 2 inside backers. Again, Bush is pretty good, but I just don't, his size kind of bothers me, man. You know, they're saying now he might measure in at about 5'10". You know, he ain't super short for a regular man, but in the NFL, at middle linebacker, nah, you need him to be a little bigger than that. So, you know, that's just kind of how I feel about that one. But all right, man, let me go ahead and get out of here. Roland said, Stephen A. is not a Steelers fan. He's an Aaron Rodgers fan because he can never do wrong in his eyes, right? Yeah, like I said, no disrespect to them dudes, man, but, you know, sometimes, yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. Sometimes they got the battery in their back and they're expecting you to do the Stephen A. I don't want nobody to be like, do the Sim. You know what I'm saying? This is it. So that's why I established this. I love the Steelers. Like my brother Tony would tell you, we die and breathe and walk and talk Steelers all the time. And I'm a YouTuber anyway, and I figure, listen, if I'm going to spend most of my time on YouTube, it's going to be centered around the Steelers. Why not do a Steelers podcast? And that's what this is all about, man. A real fan perspective, and guys here that we don't claim to know it all. We're just giving our opinion from, you know, diehard fans, and that's what it's all about. So love you guys, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. That's all we got for tonight. Let's see what we did on time. I know I'm still a little past 30 minutes. Yeah, 35. We getting better. We getting better. So that's how I kind of want to keep them going forward. You know, tight segments. Because again, guys, I have to think about the replay value for those who don't watch it live. You know, just feedback that I've gotten from other guys who want to participate. So can't make them too long. But outside of that, hey, if you haven't subscribed, if you're here watching, or if you're going to watch on the rebound, if you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe. I mean, the worst case scenario, if you don't like it going forward, you can unsubscribe. Don't cost you nothing. Also, man, if you like what you heard here tonight, or like what I do in general, do that right there, right there, right there. The green thumb. Am I pointing in the right direction? I don't even know. But the green thumb that you just saw pop up, hit that like button. And then outside of that, if you're subscribed, or when you subscribe, cut on your notifications so you know when we live. All right? So that's been good, man. I appreciate you guys. Again, next week, if Kenyon is available, I'm sure he will be, because he never misses the opportunity to talk Steelers. We're going to get Kenyon on here, and we'll talk a little bit of the combine wrap up and, you know, see if some of these big name guys are looking good, or some of these guys we hadn't paid attention to test very well. Then your boy going to dive into that tape and see if what I saw at the combine translates. All right, so I'll catch you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great rest of the week. Be safe. God bless. And I'll see you next week on Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.